Check out the Sunlight Foundation's Congress app. It's been out on Android, now it's available for iOS. It all starts with your location. The app will tell you who your lawmakers are and what they're up to. See the bills they're voting on, connect on social media, and more. Star your favorites to keep up.
Congress is spending an awful lot of money to entertain their members.
The Sunlight Foundation crunched the numbers for us. The House of Representatives spent nearly $2 million on coffee and food last year alone.
It's private donors who pay for all those swank inaugural balls and celebrations. This time around, it's estimated $40 million will be raised for the lavish parties that draw some of the biggest money players in politics. And watchdog Bill Allison says there's a reason they're willing to drop so much cash on inaugural events.
There's no better way than to sidle up to somebody and exchange business cards at an inaugural event and say, we really need some help with this tax break or this regulatory matter. And that kind of access gets you, the ear of people who can make decisions that can help you out.
Kathy Kiley with the Sunlight Foundation says it's a revolving door of lobbyists and politicians and staff members and big payoff jobs that erode Americans' faith in a system that seems to be driven by special interest access and money.
What people do see is that there's a network of individuals who don't necessarily have the public interests at heart. They have special interests at heart. And those, when people have the impression that those special interests are dominating Washington and the way things work here, it reduces people's faith in their government. And it probably should.
Sunlight Foundation put together this amazing graphic, okay? And it charts the number of meetings with the Fed, Treasury, and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, on Dodd-Frank rules, right? This is rulemaking. So this is the number of meetings, this is by year, after Dodd-Frank was passed. Now, on the right, this is representatives of major banks and banking groups, and there are a lot of meetings with representatives of major banks and banking groups. On the left, that little bitty sliver there in blue are consumer groups, right? That spatially right there, that's the asymmetry.
Here, the Sunlight Foundation calculates more than 1,000 meetings between the big 5 banks and the top regulators. Goldman Sachs tops the list. 222 meetings between Goldman execs and Washington regulators on how Dodd-Frank shapes out, guys.
You know how the Sunlight Foundation added up political spending in this past election to see who got the most bang for buck in their political spending? It was really bad on the right. Right? The Republican Party's House Campaign Committee spent almost $65 million, but only 32% of what they spent went to campaigns in which their candidate was successful.
Researcher Lee Drutman says members of Congress understand that there are risks and rewards associated with upsetting the NRA.
If you're with us, we will support you a high rating, we will run ads for you. If you oppose us, we will come and try to get you.
Lee's organization, the Sunlight Foundation, has some pretty startling figures that illustrate how NRA allegiances run deep in the U.S. Congress. According to Sunlight, 51% of the members of Congress that convened last January have received NRA funding at some point in their careers. In the House, 47% received some money from the NRA in the last campaign.
And according to the Sunlight Foundation, there have been, get ready for this, 8,000 lobbying reports over the course of time since 2007.
There's a cultural change that is happening that will have a huge impact on what citizens demand and expect from government. And that is more of the real-time, 24/7 news cycle that we all live, and just the constant way that we all expect to be in touch.
Lisa Rosenberg, a lobbyist for the Sunlight Foundation, which advocated for the Stock Act, says Congress went too far.
It's really shocking that they used basically the situation of questions about whether some language in the bill was overbroad to just to gut the bill, to gut the transparency measures that apply to themselves.